Hello and welcome back to Merryvale. It is Saturday, beautiful day today. I am out here on the property and we are looking to just kind of play around a little bit today, maybe get some things done. It's damp out here today. I just got here, I noticed a lot of puddles. It appears that we've had some rain, although we didn't have any rain back at the house about an hour away. There are some paw prints, pretty large looking prints. I am not a tracker by any means, but they appear to be canine, maybe a large coyote, I'm not sure. I'd love to hear some of your theories in the comments and some of your suggestions what that might be for those of you who are a little bit better versed than I am. I noticed that the drive looks like it may have been washed out again. I may need to do some grading, although with it being as wet as it is, I'd rather wait till it's drier. I've already got the backhoe hooked up to the tractor. It's kind of difficult to hook up and unhook when you're not on level ground, so while it's hooked up I may do some brush collection and maybe start building a burn pile. Also, maybe since it's not real hot out in the open field where I've brush hogged in the previous weeks, maybe I can get out there and try my hand at digging up a few of the stumps so I don't have to worry about them next time I brush hog. And yeah, we'll just have to see what we get into. Now, last time I was here, I went home only to find out that I was covered from toes to shoulders and even down to my elbows in dozens and dozens of itchy bites. Now, I'm not sure 100% what that was all about. I do know that I had an ant nest in the bed of my truck, thinking they may have gotten in the cab and bit me all over, and for whatever reason I didn't feel it. So for that reason, I'm pretty sure it wasn't fire ants, but it could have been sugar ants. You know, when the truck is shaking and it's hot in there because the air conditioner needs some work, it's possible that I just didn't feel them. Or maybe I got something else that I don't even know, but I have been itching all week long. I've got red welts all over my body, and so this week I got smart and I brought some bug repellent. Historically, I have never had to deal with bug bites to a large extent because mosquitoes don't really bother me. They don't really like my blood for whatever reason. Whatever I got into last week, it was a mess. So this week I brought some bug repellent and I'm gonna get some of that on right now. I love this stuff, Bullfrog. It's both a sun repellent and a sunscreen and an insect repellent, and repels up to 8 hours DEET free. They are not a sponsor. I just like to use this stuff and I don't get anything for showing it off here on camera. But I'm gonna put some of this on and then we're gonna get started and see what we can get into. One other thing, I do have to make a minor repair on the tractor. Last week as I was wrapping up, I noticed that I had something dangling underneath the tractor. I got under it and investigated, and the four-wheel drive linkage from the lever up in the seat area to the transmission case had come loose. Apparently I'd lost a cotter pin and a washer while I was brush hogging last week, so I brought an assortment of cotter pins and washers. Hopefully one of them will fit, and we'll get that fixed up and then we'll get started. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so this right here is the linkage to my four-wheel drive, and you can see there's nothing holding it on. This was what I saw dangling underneath like that, and I've lost a cotter pin and a washer, I'm guessing. So need to put that right back where it was. See if I can find a washer and a pin to fit. That one, perfect. Wish it was black, but it'll do the job. All right, that was easy. So no sooner had I said it was nice and overcast than the sun has come up. The clouds have cleared, the sun has come out. Temperature just went up about 5 or 8 degrees, I don't know. So maybe I'll find some things I can do in the shade for a while. I wanted to point out, I am using a new camera on these last couple videos. I am using the GoPro 12 Fire Black, I believe it's called, and got some new camera mounts. So hopefully some of the shakiness in my earlier videos will go away with the improvements of this camera. We'll just have to see how it goes. Let me know what you guys think, if this is a great camera for this type of work. One of the things I have found out from watching other YouTubers is it seems like they rarely, especially the ones that do the outdoorsy type channels, is they seem to rarely talk about what equipment they're using. So a lot of this is I'm having to learn as I go and research and figure it out. But I know there are some experienced YouTubers out there, and I would like to challenge all of you guys, talk more about your equipment, and so you can pave the road for the guys that are coming up behind you. It's always great to give somebody a hand up, not a hand out, but a hand up. And I think by sharing some of the things that you've learned through your YouTube journeys and building your followings could be helpful to all of us and to all of our channels, and just build better content all around. Anyway, let's see what we can get into. All right, so I think what I'm going to start out with is just trying to collect some of the debris that I found laying around, get it ready to burn. I think that'll be a nice, easy way to start the day, and maybe wait for the clouds to come over the sun again. So here we go. You know, one thing I wish I had was a grapple. I don't yet have one of those. Hope to get one soon, but there are so many attachments that I could use. So I'm sitting in the truck here, just taking a quick break. So I just pulled a bunch of those old trees and tree branches and things out of the side of the private drive with the pallet forks. I would love to have a grapple, and I've already set up to have a grapple, but it's just one of those additional attachments that you got to save up for. Or maybe my elves could bring me one for Christmas. Anyway, I think next I'm going to try the thumb on the backhoe. Some of you may remember from an earlier video I had some problems with when I went to install the thumb on my backhoe. I did film part of the assembly process and then found out that I had the wrong pin, or that I didn't have a pin actually, and then when I ordered a replacement, it came with the wrong pin for the hinge joint of the thumb. Well, I've got that resolved, and I've installed the thumb on the backhoe. The only thing about using the backhoe compared to, say, a mini excavator is that every time that you want to change where you're working, you have to move the tractor. So you have to get out of the backhoe, get into the tractor, and then drive to the next place, and then set up again. Which, you know, compared to doing it by hand, yeah, it's a lot easier. However, a mini X would be so much quicker. But I have a backhoe. It has a mechanical thumb on it. It does not have a hydraulic thumb. That would have been something nice to have, but this model didn't come with a hydraulic thumb. And so I'm going to try using that to pull some of this stuff out. And then once I do that, then I've got to find a place to put a burn pit and move all of this stuff to the burn pit. Problem is, where I want to put the burn pit, it's kind of still hard to get to, because even though I've cleared a path to get there, some of these trees and things that I pulled out are pretty large, and carrying them through without hitting other trees on each side of the trail and that sort of thing can be challenging. So I may have to put a temporary burn pit close to the side of the road, maybe start that way, and then as I clear more to go toward the back of the field where I want to put the burn pit, it'll just come with time. So I'm going to try that. I'm going to try it with the backhoe, and we'll see how it goes. Before I wrap up today, I found 2 of my pins on the property, on the boundaries. I've been marking them as I find them. And so I'm going to mark 2 of them today, and I possibly know where there's a third one close by, so I'm going to look for it for a bit. What I'm doing is I'm marking the lines, marking the pins with my own pins that are on T-post, spray painting the tips red for Santa, and that way I can see the pins. I don't mow over them. They don't get lost, that sort of thing. And one of the other things that I'm kind of keeping an eye on is that they don't get moved, because there are still parcels out here that are being carved out and parceled up, and I just want to make sure nobody moves the pins. It's been known to happen. Hopefully I can avoid that. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for today. Doesn't feel like I got much done, but when I go back later and brush hog all those areas where I drug branches and logs out of, it'll open up then, and then I'll get to see the results of my labor. Did get a couple of burn piles started. Of course, you saw one by the road and the other one in this back field. That was the first one I did, and got practice with the thumb on the backhoe. It's the first time doing that. I gotta imagine a hydraulic thumb is a lot better. So would a mini excavator. So I'm just curious, you guys have gotten to see a little bit of my property now, and a little bit of Merryvale. You know, I need a lot of things. I need a mini X, I'd like to have a skid steer, I'd like to have a bulldozer, but those are big ticket items. So I'm just curious, if you could get one attachment for the tractor that I don't have. Right now I have a land plane, but there are no scarifiers on it. I've got a quick hitch, I've got a front end loader with a bucket and a tooth bar. I've got pallet forks, I've got a brush hog, and that's about it. I think I need a grapple to help clean up some of these areas, but a box blade, I think, with the scarifiers would be helpful in smoothing out some of these trails as well. Ultimately, in that field, it is so bumpy. Either at a minimum a skid steer, but really I would think I probably need a bulldozer over there. But you know, one little bit at a time. Mrs. Claus and I are still working on the design of our house, and we're waiting for some things to align. So you know, I've got time to kind of mess around out here and clear trails and do small projects and things like that. But in the meantime, you know, I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you are too when you're following along. And again, tell me in the comments, what attachment for my tractor do you think that I could benefit from the most? Best value for the dollar for what you've seen here. Until then, I will see you on the next one. And I want to wish you guys all, I want to wish all the students out there a happy new school year. So the battery just died on my other camera on the GoPro. Oh, that reminds me. Tell me how you like the new footage on the GoPro. Hope it's working better than the cell phone. Anyway, hope y'all are doing well. I'll see you on the next video. Until then, again, have a great day. I'll see you next time on Merryvale, where it's always Christmas. Take care, everybody.